Welcome to part 2 of my declutter slash vanity tour. If you have not already seen part 1, I definitely recommend watching that. Alright, we have the Kylie Peach palette. I love this palette. I was surprised to like Kylie as much as I did. Familiar with this palette? It is oranges, which if you didn't know already, you probably figured out oranges are my favorite shades to wear. This color here is so beautiful. I love this matte orange, which is actually quite a bit lighter in person than it's tracking. Here it hits a little bit more like this. So yeah, definitely be hanging on to this. The Lorac Pro 4. This is some cool toned pinks and neutrals. I absolutely adore this palette. I don't use it enough. I should move it up, but I will be hanging on to it. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette, so beautiful. I did win this, so I will be hanging on to this because it's so special to me. Cargo Emerald City Giant palette. Woo! I grabbed this one at TJ Maxx and it's pretty, but like I just don't need it, so I will be decluttering it. Rain Queen of Hearts. So beautiful, and these colors are so gorgeous. They remind me a lot of the new ColourPop Birds of a Feather palette, which I've been lusting after, so I think I need to pull this out and use some of these because the shade Crown is so gorgeous. Your Majesty. The only thing that disappointed me about it was this Queen Mother, which looks really purple. Doesn't really look that purple on your face. But other than that, beautiful, beautiful palette. Colored Rain does an amazing job. They're so underrated. Like, they just don't get the love they deserve. Next, I've got the Another Revolution, the Pro HD Amplified palette. This is the same as the Morphe purple palette. I forget what, I'll figure out what it's called and pop it up there. It's exactly the same, and it's pretty with some neutrals. Let's see, some neutrals and a lot of purples over here. This is actually what I should be pulling out instead of that Pretty Poison palette. And it's big, but it would be great to travel with because it does have these like nice neutral brown shades and pinky shades, and then the bold purples. So definitely, that's a little bit dusty. The Violet Boss Flamingo. This is one of my favorite ones for spring and summer. Pretty bold shades, unlike a lot of palettes that I have. There are some similar ones, like Island is kind of similar to the Colored Rain, but really love this one. We'll be hanging on to it. Just a few more in here. Let's get these up. We have the Disney Villains Misunderstood palette, which I'll have to find on Instagram and pop it up. I did a comparison. The shades on this are very, very, very similar to the Makeup Shayla Perception palette, so I don't reach for it as much as I should, but I am going to be holding on to it just because I love Disney Villains and I collect Maleficent stuff, so I may just display it and not use it. The Nabla Dreamy palette, which sold out several times. I'm going to probably depot this because I love several of the shades, like Vanitas here. Make sure it's showing on camera. Vanitas, Metal Cupid, Sestina, Rose Gold, Lullaby, but these purples are crap. Like, I bought it for the purples and they're actually the worst shades by far in it. But I do love these orangey shades. They are similar though to the Colored Rain palette, so probably what I'll do, it seems like such a waste to depot it because it is pretty is I will put it on the maybe pile and compare it to my colored rains, and if those oranges are too similar, then I will probably sell this one. And last but not least, the Giant Masquerade by Juvia's. The pan size on this is ridiculous, but the shades are so beautiful. And I love Juvia's. I got this, I think it was a How It Look or Nordstrom Rack. And I definitely could have done the mini Masquerade, but it was almost the exact same price for the big one, so I got the big one, and now it's hard to store, but I will definitely never use it up. All right, I'm just gonna grab the last few things that are on my vanity, since my vanity's gotten messier as I'm piling the get rid of stuff on it. Got some stuff left over from my last trip in my purple Jeffree bag. I have the Folklore Sunrise palette. So beautiful. Oh, it actually, when I saw pictures of it, I was like, I have to have this. And then it was so much more beautiful in person. It just blew my mind. It's definitely keeping that one. We got the Jeffree Mini Breaker. Clearly, I will be keeping this one since it is Jeffree. This angle, ugh. I'm just not doing well with this angle, y'all. I apologize. Then I have the BH Summer in Saint-Tropez, which is brand new. I haven't even used it yet, but it's got those beautiful purples and blues and yellows, so I definitely need to use it. The Revolution Honey Chocolate Palette, which is so fun. This is see-through. I just picked this one up not too long ago. I bought one for my friend Lucy for her birthday, and I loved it so much I had to get one for myself, even though it only has, no, it doesn't have any mattes in it, which is originally why I was not interested in it, but it's just so pretty I had to have it. So this one I haven't used enough to decide if I should keep it, so maybe it'll be in another declutter if I don't love it. The Folklore Turkey palette, which I bought when I bought the Sunrise palette. Beautiful mauve colors. This Lycian Way glitter is so incredible, but the whole palette is really beautiful colors, so I'll definitely be hanging on to that one. The Viseart Rose Edit. Almost brand new. I got it at the last Sephora 20% off sales, so I will be hanging on to it. I filmed this over 2 days, so I can't remember if I talked about ColourPop, Give It To Me Straight, and California Love. So in case I didn't, California Love is one of my favorites with the browns and yellows. It's fairly new, so I will be hanging on to it. Give It To Me Straight. I feel like it was never quite the shades that I wanted it to be. Like, they just don't, they don't track quite the same swatched and on the eye as they look in the pan. And it's pretty lightly used, so I think I am going to declutter this one. I've got a few in this little acrylic thing that I'm going to pull out and talk about. So that's where all of these are going to be coming from. These are smaller ones again, sort of like that smaller drawer. So just pulling out the whole removable drawer there, we have the Maybelline City Kits Urban Light. Very pretty, very shimmery, nothing that I don't have anywhere else, so I'm going to be decluttering it. I think I've only used it like one time too. Let me open it here. Let me put this down so I don't accidentally drop all of these, since I am a klutz, as we have established. So that's what that looks like. Got a ColourPop mini with these brown shades. and I'm going to be taking them out and putting them in some of the custom palettes. It did have a mirror, but the mirrors on these really sucked and they weren't glued in really well, so the mirror has disappeared. Got the Profusion Berry, I think it's Berry something or other. I did a tutorial using this. And these two shades here are enough to keep this palette. It is gorgeous, such good quality, especially at that price point. Got the MAC, which is the only MAC eyeshadow I have. This was the Oh My Banana from one of their summer collections. It's fun, but I never reach for it. You can tell I have used this shade quite a bit. I'm either, you know, I probably will just declutter this since it is MAC. Somebody will probably want to buy it even not being in perfect shape because this was limited edition. It's just, I don't know, MAC eyeshadow just doesn't do it for me. Got the ColourPop I Love Sarah I or Sari. I don't know how, I've never known how you say her name. This was the Saucy palette, and I love all these shades. I really like these two. I have kept it in this little thing only because it was a special collection. Otherwise I would probably take it out, but I'm gonna leave it in that since it was a special collab. But the Buxom customizable palette that I got was just some random shades that I thought would be fun to have, but as I've learned, if something is not cohesive, then I don't reach for it. So I don't know what I need to do with these, and now that I look at it, these are very similar to that Oh My Banana. Interesting. So maybe I'll put them in some of the other palettes. They pop out really easily. Let's see. So you can just pop things in and out. So I'm gonna just put them in with some other shades so I get more use out of them. Then finally, the Bare Minerals Gin Nude Copper and Latte palette. I was on quite the search for these when they were at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. And I do like both of them quite a bit. This one is the copper, which really this is the only thing that's especially copper out of it. I definitely like the latte shades better. Just some nice warm toned browns and kind of a gold. Now that I think about it, I may just go ahead and declutter copper since I've only had it, I think I've only used it, let's go back and look at it. I think I've used it one time and not all the shades, so I think I may just go ahead and declutter this one. Got the Milani Pure Passion, which is all of those pretty red colors. I do like this, but I feel like it's also very similar to some other ones I have, like that Pure Love Yourself E3 we talked about. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile so I can do some comparisons. The Blink Electric Eyes palette. This came in a boxy charm, and I actually repurchased it because I tried to depot and I broke one of the shades, but then like I don't think I've ever used this. So I repurchased on Poshmark and then never used it. That was kind of poor planning. Declutter, I think. Got the NYX Ultimate Bright Shadows. This is the first bright palette I ever had, but now I have the Slush palette. So I will be decluttering this one. The Viseart Theory 2 Minx. The very first Viseart palette I ever purchased, and it is absolutely beautiful. I will never get rid of my Viseart ever. Also have the Viseart Dark Mattes. I got this on sale at Sephora and it is absolutely gorgeous. All those autumn shades I love. Let's Sonia Kashuk quads that I think I got when they were on clearance at Target. And I have a few more stashed somewhere I've got to find. I think I'll just go ahead and declutter all of these. Then lastly, the Hourglass Modernist Infinity palette. I think even though these got really bad reviews, the shadows are not bad. See if we can, here we go, without a glare. And I really like, there we go. I really like how they're just all in there together, kind of artistically. It's more like a sculpture than an eyeshadow palette, and I just find that that's really fun. So I will be hanging on to this. This is the Pure Celebrate Your Selfie Anniversary Birthday Collection. Limited edition Sweet 16 collector set. I won this from FabFitFun, which was so awesome because I had been lusting after these so much. And it is like really gigantic, like very thick, as you can see. But it does have these pullouts with some blushes that are really pretty. And there was a lipstick, I think. There we go. A lipstick and a mascara, and then some lashes that I've never touched. And I've thought about depotting this, but you know, the packaging is part of what's so cool about it. So right now I'm just kind of hanging on to it as is. Alright, so that is my whole declutter. That's what I've chosen to get rid of. I have used a couple things since I did the declutter. I did choose to keep the Pure palette and the Milani Pure Passion palette, both because while they are very similar in shades, the shades in both of them don't really overlap with one another. And because I really love those warm tones and because I really love Pure, and I also really love that particular Milani palette, I just couldn't bring myself to get rid of either one of them. So this is why I have a makeup hoarding problem. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram because I am a lot more active there, even though I am not posting a daily picture anymore. You can also subscribe if you want to see when I have new content. I am definitely not quitting YouTube. There will be new content. It's just not going to be weekly. You can always hit that bell if you'd like to get a notification when I do have a new video up. So thank you all for watching. I love you all. I appreciate all of your support, and I will see you in the next video.